Hi, my name is Marina Irwin. I'm with Sustainable Resource Development here in Calgary. I work with a variety of different user groups, stewardship groups of all types. And what I see them struggling with so much, and we've talked about it many times throughout the conference, is that the project money coming is fantastic. There's tons of federal money, things they're able to tap into, but they can't keep it together administratively or keep themselves organized, keep the lights on, keep some kind of structure there, base structure, to actually function. And my suggestion is, I think a national group like this, it would be interesting. Something like the web portal is awesome, but if we could actually also look at some functioning people in different areas of each province that can actually support, that they can actually physically go have somebody that, whether it's a collection of grant writers or administrative staff or just a resource that these stewardship groups can flourish from, but kind of a physical space. And I don't think each one of them needs one, but if there was sort of like a regional office that each one of them could sort of tap into those resources, and I know that's kind of way down the road, but maybe it's not way down the road, but I think it would be extremely useful to those groups to have that kind of resource in their areas.
So a decentralized secretariat function. Thank you.
Peter Mitchell, Center for Land and Water Stewardship at the University of Guelph. This has been incredibly inspiring, and I have to think back when I close my eyes and think about the most inspiring circumstances for me. It's been the images and the stories. And it was, I think it's Paulette. It was the images of the Blood Tribe and the words that I remember from her presentation, training stewards of the earth and advocating for youth in forestry planning. Those are inspiring images for me and thoughts for me as I go back to Ontario. And also the images of Don's farm. I close my eyes and I just think about nature and the spirit and how being on the land on my own property in Beaver Valley enhances and grows my spirit and wants me to share that land with others. And standing here, I'm looking at the stewardship bus. I have two teenage boys, 16 and 18, just got their temporary licenses. And recently, we were up north, and I said, okay, you drive now. And it freaked them out. And I think what we have to do with our young staff, okay, you drive now. And I'm going to tell you where to stop and when to stop, because I know the people and I know the places that I want you to get familiar with. And I think the message there is we have to share with young staff and young people the people and the places that have caused our spirit to swell. And I think Stu and I had the privilege of starting, being involved in the year 2000. As a result of that, and then having a survey of young people in 2003, we asked a lot of young people what they needed. They needed some training. So we've now developed a program called the Young Conservation Professionals Career Development Program in Guelph. We've now graduated 100 people from that program, and they're bright, inspired, committed young professionals. And I will devote my energies to attracting some of them to help with the secretariat idea as we move forward.
Thank you, Peter. I can attest from my own personal experience to Peter's ability to bring youth, to interest youth in participating in stewardship activities, and I think that's a very real offer that we'll look forward to. Other comments from the floor?
Good afternoon. My name is Paulette Fox, Blood Tribe, Land Management. I'm the manager of the Environmental Protection Division. I just want to say thank you to the organizers for inviting Blood Tribe's participation. It was a great honor to be able to bring our elder to open the event. And I wanted to share this in my presentation because it was very grassroots for me. This is Blackfoot Traditional Territory. This is my undergrad institution. I'm U of C alum. So while we pulled into town and I looked at the time and texted my cousin, she's going backstage now. They've taken her. So I'm running across campus And I'm like, this is way too familiar. It's like 12 years ago, this was like running to class, running to drop my assignment off. So I wanted to share that because it was very meaningful for me to be here, and I just wanted to extend my thanks to the organizers, and I just wanted to be able to share that I think part of the recommendation that was shared before the break was extremely powerful for me. Brought tears to my eyes. It was very powerful. So I just wanted to, leave that statement where it is, but I also want to sort of extrapolate it on it and say that I think a lot of times ministries or even municipalities working with First Nations, a huge challenge is First Nations just not being at the table because they have concerns that may be relative to something else that this wouldn't be able to speak to, so therefore there is no dialogue. And that is a process that we're utilizing with our community towards consensus, is dialoguing. And that is a process that is an English modern term, but it goes back and it has its ancient roots in our culture where if it takes till 4 in the morning, an issue, it takes till 4 in the morning, and oftentimes that's sort of the thing that today we don't understand, but that's how deeply we will get into discussing some critical issues. So I wanted to extend that because I think it's a very useful and meaningful tool, and I would love to share more on my experience with that and some of the connections and linkages that I have with other First Nations academics and leaders who incorporate that as a model for simply allowing issues to emerge and allowing things to be illuminated through anything that ranges in between. So I would love to say that for every First Nation, we are all in touch with our steward roots, but unfortunately, there's been influences and impositions. So, based on that, I want to say that I'm going to do my best to go back home. But I know with the help of our elder and other community members, I would love to report back on some of the initiatives that we're doing in the future. And I just want to thank everybody for sharing so much. It's just, it's more than I could Google.
Thank you very much for those comments and for your offer of a further contribution. And I know that you've heard from many participants how much the conference has appreciated your nation's contribution.